everyone, my name is Ash and I love tea, and today we are going to talk about enjoying tea in the office, especially when you consider COVID and sort of the need to kind of not use communal kitchens, maybe communal water coolers, things like that. So I drink a lot of tea throughout the day. It kind of keeps me productive, and it's just like a joy that I can have tea throughout the day. So I basically rethought my entire tea making process, and I purchased some new things that kind of help me just like keep my tea making confined to a space which is just my office. And I just wanted to go through what I purchased and my thought process behind it, and really just have a conversation about more, I guess, hygienic ways to enjoy tea when you're in communal settings. So I hope this helps someone, and we are gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is a gigantic water bottle. I purchased this on Amazon. It says Bottled Joy, but I'll put a link below about where I actually got this. There are a lot of different versions of it on Amazon, and it's pretty simple. This is a, I believe, 2.5 liter water bottle. So for me, this means that I have enough water for definitely one day, but even 2 days. So basically I can take my water filter at home, fill this up, and then just bring this into the office. I've really enjoyed this because surprisingly it's not as heavy as I thought it would be, even when it's filled with water. I also really enjoy the fact that it has a very open mouth to it, so to speak, so that I can very easily clean it thoroughly in between uses. And for me, just using this compared to using like water bottles was just a lot more environmentally friendly. So I thought this was a really good, cheap purchase, and although it does not look like it's meant for tea lovers, it looks like it's meant for bodybuilders, it's actually been a really good thing to bring into the office for tea, and it keeps me from having to do it every single day. Alright, now so my next item is pretty self-explanatory. It is a tea kettle. It's an Amazon Basics tea kettle that I got on Amazon. I at some point will do more of a thorough review on this, but I did want to just talk generally about my logic on getting kettles and purchasing kettles and things that you should consider. So the first thing that I wanted was something that had a very slim profile. So this is kind of I call it the cradle to the teapot, and there's an extension cord here. So there's the cradle there. This is the actual kettle itself. This one opens. I wanted something that was not glass because unfortunately I had an incident where I had a glass teapot and it fell off a countertop and it shattered. So anyway, and then so it also has the on button. It has various temperature controls, so you can figure out what temperature water that you want. A couple things to keep in mind when you purchase a tea kettle for the office. One, these cords are not very long at all. You may have to actually get a extension cord depending on what kettle you have and what your outlet situation is in your office. Another thing to keep in mind when you purchase kettles is to keep in mind how loud it's going to be. I think it's a given that there's going to be a sound as the water heats up, but you know, a lot of them have beeping. This particular one definitely has beeping. When you turn it on, when you figure out what temperature water that you want, it beeps. The beeps are pretty loud. And then when it's done boiling, or when the water is done heating up, there is another beeping sound that actually continues basically until you take it off the cradle. So all this to say, when you're looking for a kettle, keep in mind how loud it's going to be. Okay, so our next item is a thermos. And you can really use any thermos, but the reason why I chose this one is because it has a built-in French press, and I'll show you a little bit how that works. I must say, I do like this a lot, but I'm going to tell you about the pros and cons of this particular mug. There's one con, a lot of pros, but we're going to be pretty fair about it. So this is from the company S Pro. As I mentioned earlier, it has a French press in it. So basically it detaches like this. You put your loose leaf tea in it, and then you put this top part. So as you can tell, there's that French press, but then there's also another top lid, and the top lid allows you to use the French press. It does go up kind of high. And then, so basically when it's for real done brewing, you can put it down. So that's how this works. And then this top lid is kind of what you use to secure it. So I've had this for a long time. I actually purchased this at Tavano, however you pronounce it. I say Tavano. I don't know if that's my like Midwesternness coming out. But anyway, and the con about it is just that sometimes this top lid, like it opened right now, but if I screw it on too tight, it does not come off. It's kind of like trying to open a pickle jar a little bit. And then, as you might have seen as I was putting down the press, it was kind of hard to get down. It's actually easier when there's actual water in it. Right now it's empty. So it's one of those things where, you know, as long as you can get the lid off, which I can always get it off, sometimes it just takes a lot of time, and that could just be because I have terrible grip. I don't know. But it's just kind of convenient because I have the flexibility of using a lot of my loose leaf teas in the office, which is kind of my preference. You can still use tea bags in this because you can take off all the lids, put a tea bag in, let the water brew, and then put all the applicable lids on, and then of course your tea bag can go away. I guess you can also technically press the tea bag if you want to. I've done that before as well. But I do really enjoy this mug. I believe even if you're like a coffee drinker and you want to do like French press coffee, I believe that this mug is for them as well. In fact, I think maybe that's kind of the primary focus of the company. But I really like using French presses in general for tea, so I love that I'm able to do it in a travel mug that's very contained. And then last, but certainly not least, I'm going to talk to you about what is in my little mobile tea pouch. I put this in my work bag. I also take this with me when I travel, and it just has everything that I need to make a cup of tea. So at minimum, I might take like a mug and this bag, and then I can kind of make tea wherever I go. First thing, I'm a crafter. I put some glittery iron on this pouch so it's clear that it's for tea. And I won't go too deeply into the teas that are in here for the sake of time, but I will show you the teas that I have. But first I'm going to show you, I have hand sanitizer. I think that's really important, especially in COVID times, to make sure that your hands are sanitized when you're making tea. The second thing I have are these little reusable tea bags from Sipsby. If you have loose leaf tea, you can basically put it in here. This is a little, just kind of a muslin holder, but I'll show you what it looks like inside, what the bags look like. So here they are. You can basically just make your own tea bags, and I have them in this little holder right here. And then the next thing that I have in another little bag is to have a little tea scoop. So for the loose leaf teas I have in here, I need a scoop to get them out. This is a Tavano Tea Scoop, and I love it because it has a very slim profile and fits really well in this bag. So instead of just throwing it in the bag, I have another little pouch that I put it in, slip it in, and then put it in here. So I think it's time to kind of briefly go through some of the loose leaf teas I have. I would say generally, travel size teas are your best friend when it comes to taking them on the go. I have a Oolong Vibes from the company Steep and Sip. I really enjoy this. I've posted this on my Instagram a lot. I also have, in terms of a loose leaf, just kind of a general Darjeeling. This was a tea that I had through the World Tea Academy course. So it's just kind of a good breakfast tea, a good black breakfast tea. And then I have 2 tea bags, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher the name because I do not speak any French. But it's the company Palais de Thés, and it's the Du Hammam. I'll write it down in the description. This is just a fruity green tea. I did get it in the tea bag form if I just want something really quick. And then the next thing that I have is a herbal. It is a red clover herbal tea bag. And then actually finally I have one more thing, which is a Tea Drops matcha green tea. If you're unfamiliar with tea drops, basically it is like instant tea that comes in this little condensed drop, I guess you can call it, but you just add water to it. At some point I'll do a more detailed review on tea drops. I like some of their flavors, others of them I don't, but I thought the matcha green tea was fine. It does have a lot of sugar in it, so if you're someone who doesn't like sugary type of teas, this may not be for you, but I like this more for its portability, and it's there if I need it. If I want to do matcha Monday or something, here it is. So basically that is everything that is in my travel pouch.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.